Cijenjeni gledatelji Večernjeg TV-a, lijepi pozdrav. Sa mnom u društvu je čovjek kojeg ne treba posebno predstavljati. On je ikona danskog nogometa, ikona europskog nogometa i ikona Manchester Uniteda 90. godina, Peterom Schmeichelom. Peter, goddag. Hvordan gardat.
Det går rigtig godt. Tak.
Popričali smo malo na danskom. Nisam ga tražio da mi bude jamac za kredit, nego osnovne stvari. Bog, kako ste i slično. So, Peter, my first question is, of course, last night's match, Denmark against Croatia. You cannot be satisfied with the result.
No, I mean, you can never be happy when you don't win. The Nations League, the way it is this summer, is tough because it's 4 games in 10 days, and I have to say, you know, I thought both teams looked very, very tired. And of course, Brozovic and Lukic started out. Luka Modric, sorry, started out, came in the second half and made a big difference. But it's this third game, and okay, we get another game on Monday, and the players are just tired, so anything can really happen in these games. So I think overall we've played 3 games here in this period, and we won 2 games and lost 1. I think that's quite okay. I mean, the game yesterday could have gone either way, but I don't think it was a great game. I have to be honest. I don't think it was a great game.
Are you satisfied with your son's performance?
Yeah, I don't look at it like that, you know. For me, I have to separate it, you know. So when Denmark plays or when Leicester plays, it's not really my son in goal. It can't be. You can't be that emotionally involved in the game, because then that's just gonna happen. It's just gonna drive you mad. So I see him as just one of the 11, and then, you know, we can talk about whatever stuff afterwards, and trying to keep our family relation as normal as possible. But of course, you know, he's in his 11th year with Leicester City. You know, he's played for the national team for a long time. I'm very, very used to him being there, and so it makes it easier from day to day or game to game to look at it as a normal thing. But I'm very proud of him. I think he's done fantastically well, and the most important thing for me is that he's having a fantastic time with it and he's happy. That, I mean, as a parent, is the only thing that counts.
Happy with his career.
Yeah, but I think he's done really well. You know, he's taken part in creating something, you know, completely unique results. You know, winning the Premier League with Leicester City it's you know, it's an adventure that was a fairy tale that breathes fresh air into football. Gives hope to everybody that it can be done. And of course, the year before last year, they won the FA Cup. So, you know, he's taken, you know, he was in the semi-finals with Denmark. Obviously, we got beaten in the World Cup by Croatia very, very narrowly on penalty shootout. So, you know, he's been at the center of a lot of good things in football. And, you know, I'm very proud of what he's done, and he should be very proud of what he's done. And of course, the most important thing for me, as I say, is that he's happy with what he's doing.
Have you noticed the guy on the opposite side, the Croatian goalkeeper, Dominik Livakovic? He's been great for several years for the national team.
Yeah, I have to say that, you know, yesterday, you know, he looked a little bit tired himself. You know, the yellow card that was given to Cornelius in the first half, it was nothing. You know, he was probably a little bit slow. But yeah, I mean, you have a really, really good team. I always compare, you know, the nations of the size that we are, Croatia, Denmark. I always compare, you know, what we do, how we produce great players and competitive players to the highest level. And I think we are, as nations, we're very good representation of what can be done with smaller nations and how we can produce great players. You know, we had back in the day, you know, players like Michael and Brian Laudrup, Preb Melchior Larsens. We've had, you know, at the moment we have someone like Christian Eriksen, of course. We produce great players, but more than anything, great teams. And of course, with you go back to my generation of the Croatian team with Boban and Zuka and all these kind of Pošaneski, all these players, great personalities in European football, and now Modric, of course. I'd say Brozovic before at Inter. You always produce great players and always produce great teams, and I think this is what we, as small nations, that we can take a lot of pride of. But I think it all has a foundation in the team, because we realize as a small nation, and not producing 100 players, but maybe 20 players, we have to stick together as a team. We have to stick together in order to produce results. And then we have all the tasty little extra bits in the Modric's and the Erikssons, who can add a little bit of flavor to what we do as a team.
Of course, you know everything about Croatian national team. What do you think about our odds, our chances in Qatar in World Cup?
Yeah, I mean, you were in the final last time, and of course you can't expect to go to the final again. You have to earn that right. But I think it goes very much to what I just said. You know, you always had good, strong, competitive teams, and right from the separation of the Yugoslavian Union, you've been straight in there. Very competitive teams producing really good results, and I see no difference for Croatia coming to the World Cup in Qatar in November, December. You have the same opportunity to create good results, but you have to produce them. It's no international football now. It's not a foregone conclusion. We saw with Germany Germany and Spain, by the way. The last two world champions, you saw what happened to them in Russia. You have to be there, you have to produce, and you have to perform in every game. And if you do, you have a chance, precisely like I think that Denmark has a chance to do well.
Let me go straight to the point. Is Luka Modric one of the best midfielders in the history of football?
Of course he is.
Between, let's say, top 5?
I don't know. He's one of the best players in the world. He's been one of the best players in the world for a long time. What is he now? 37 years old. As I understand it, he's just been back to Madrid to sign a new contract. Yeah. So I mean, what he did in the Champions League this season was fantastic. Two things springs to mind. His pass to Benzema in the Chelsea game. The way the whole play up to that pass, and when he got the ball the second time, and he just instinctively put it on, right there. And of course the outside foot to Vinicius Jr. was it? Oh, Rodrigo, yeah, of course, yeah, Rodrigo. You have to be one of the best players in the world to produce that. Everyone can hit the ball on the outside foot, but
not like Luka.
But not very many can do that over that distance. And I can only remember one other player, again, top of my head, who was able to do that. It was Michael Laudrup, that I was very fortunate to play with.
Yeah, I loved him very much.
Sorry?
I like that Laudrup, Michael.
But we're talking, the very, very top end of players.
For us in Croatia, you are one of the most beloved players, because of few things. One of them is your performance in 1997 qualifying match, Denmark versus Greece, and when your performance put us through the World Cup in France, 1998. Do you remember that game? Can you?
Well, it was quite a culmination to our qualification group, because if we needed a draw to qualify directly, and if we did that, achieved the draw, and you won, you would go to the playoffs. But if Greece won over us, they would go straight to the World Cup, and we would go in the playoffs. So it was, I remember this game. We drew 0-0. It was a tough game, really tough game for us.
There was some extraordinary.
Yeah, well, it's one of those games. You have to step up. Every player on the pitch has got to step up. Very difficult to play in Athens away from home, regardless of the importance of the game. Always been very, very difficult. And of course, the meaning and the importance of this game made it even more difficult. And then, of course, the fans, the Greek fans, are so passionate. And we actually got stopped for about 6-7 minutes because the fireworks being fired into the pitch. So there was an element of a lot of sort of things that you not normally have in a game. And of course, we had this bad news that Michael Laudrup was injured, got injured in the build-up to this game, so he wasn't playing. So our best player was not playing. So we all the way throughout this game, we knew it was going to be difficult. And when you don't have a player like Michael Laudrup, we didn't expect to be attacking in this game because, they would need to win the game, so they would have to come at us. But what you needed was someone more than just Brian Laudrup, who played the game, to be able to keep hold of the ball, so you don't lose the ball all the time and they come at you so you get stressed and you're under pressure and eventually you make a mistake and it costs a goal. So not having Michael in the game was absolutely massive for us. So we kind of knew we had to produce something extraordinary to not lose the game. That was the most important thing for us, not to lose the game. And it was one of them. I think we all stepped up, and of course, being a goalkeeper and being under pressure so much as we were in the game, you have to make saves. And for me, it was one of those days where everything felt right, and of course we qualified directly to the World Cup, so it ended up being a really good game for us as well.
Great. You mentioned several extraordinary players, but if you must choose one who is the best you played with.
No, I think Michael Laudrup is easily the best player I've ever played with. I can't remember many players who has got the respect that he has in the footballing world. I think the unfortunate thing for him was that he was from Denmark, and therefore at the time where you got players like Michel Platini, the Brazilian Ronaldinho, all of these sort of very high profile players representing big nations like Brazil or France, getting all the way to the end of tournaments, the big tournaments. It was difficult to compete individually when it comes to awards like the Ballon d'Or. And I think that was a little bit unfortunate for him, because I think that he belongs in that company. I think he was that good. I always remember something that Michel Platini told me, that when he was at Juventus with Boniek, Michael Laudrup got signed for Juventus, but straight away he was loaned out to Lazio, and that was supposed to be for 2 or maybe even 3 years. And after 1 year, Platini, because you can only have 2 foreign players, Platini said that he wanted to have Michael in Juventus, and Platini was the power. He decided everything. So Michael actually came and played with Platini in Juventus, and Michel said always that he's one of the best players he's ever played with. And I don't think that you can have a better judge than someone who actually was the best player at the time saying that. So Michael Laudrup is easily the best player that I've ever played with. And I'm quite proud that we've had him in our national team, and it doesn't happen very often that we have a Laudrup, a Modric, but when we have, I think we should celebrate them.
Yeah, definitely, Michael was one of the best. And last question: what kind of football you like to watch today? Which coach you admire the most?
I think that's I don't really like that last bit of the question, which coach, because I don't think it's about the coaches. Every coach that I've had, quality coach that I've ever had, has always said it's about the players, and I still think it's all about the players. I like to watch a lot of different teams. I haven't enjoyed watching Manchester United this season. I think that's a little bit sad, and hopefully that will change. But I really have enjoyed watching the way Liverpool played, the way that Man City they have played, and of course they end up there top of the pile. But I really enjoyed watching teams like Bayern Munich. I think the way that Real Madrid conducted themselves in the Champions League, where they were so unpredictable. You just didn't know what was going to happen. I felt that was probably some of the most exciting thing that happened in this season. It wasn't like it was smooth riding all the way, but to find that little bit that you need at the right time, and then every time, I think that has been quite good. And I thought they deserved to win it in the end because they were that. But I just think that we're spoiled. Well, we have so much great football to watch. And I have to say I've enjoyed watching Denmark play. I think we've played really well.
Peter, thank you for the time. I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
Cijeni gledatelji, bio je to legendarni Peter Schmeichel. Lijepi pozdrav.